Welcome to my YouTube channel. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel and also do not forget to press the bell icon so you never miss any video tutorial published by me.
Hi, today let's discuss some questions from physics portion of PhD entrance examination of Tata Institute of Fundamental Research GS 2018. So one of the questions in the physics portion was two forces of 7 newtons each acting at 45 degrees to each other will have a resultant of approximately, these were the options. So here I have made how exactly the two forces will look like. So F1 is acting here in this direction and F2 is acting in this direction and the angle between them is 45 degrees. So now the formula for the resultant force is, let me write it down here. So this is the formula to find out resultant force. Now we will put the values over here. So let us suppose both the forces are equal. So F1 is also 7 squared and F2 is 7 squared as well, and 2 into 7 into 7 into cos the angle between both of them. Theta is 45 degrees over here. Now we will simply solve it. It is like simple mathematical calculation. So it will be 49 plus 49 plus 49 into 2. The reason why I am not writing it as 98, 49 into 2 is 98 because we will take common 49 from here. So that's why it's better to write it like this. Cos 45 degrees is 1 by root 2. Now we will simply solve it. We will take 49 common. One by root 2. So now, okay, we can take common 2 also as common because 1 plus 1 is 2, 49, 2 plus 2 into 1 by root 2, 49 into 2, 1 plus 1 by root 2. We can write it like this. Now ultimately it will become 98 1 plus 1 by root 2. Now we will factorize it. That is, we will remove root 2 from the denominator. So let me tell you how we can do it. Let me write it over here. 98 1 plus 1 by root 2 into 1 root 2 by root 2. Now it will be like Now root 2 will come in numerator instead of denominator. Okay. So now we have to find out the value of what? Root 2. So better we will take 2 out of here. So it will ultimately become 98. 2 plus root 2 by 2. Now we can find out root over here, root 2. Value of root 2 will be like 1, 1 ja 1, 1, 1. Here we will write 2.00. 24 for the 96 and then 400. It will be 28. So 281, 1 ja 281. So like this we can find it out. So the value of root 2 is around 1.41. So we'll do it. It will cancel out. So it will become 49 into 2 plus 1.41, right? 49 into 3.4. Now we can simply solve it by multiplying 49 by 3.4. Let me do it here. So it is 166 point root of 166.6. Now here we have given options like the value is not in under root. So we have to remove the under root. Now we will think like what will be the square root of 166. So we know the square root of 169 is 169. 169 will be 13. And this value is very close to 169. And here it is given approximately. So that means the answer will be 13. Approximately 13. So option D is the right answer. So that's how we can solve easy questions related to physics. And another question in the same question paper was, it was related to, again we needed to find out average force. So the question was, an object of mass 70 kg hits a stationary airbag with a velocity 25 meters per second at the instant of impact. After 0.25 seconds, the object has come to a stop and the airbag has deflated. The average force on object during this interval is most nearly, these were the options, 70,000 newtons, 7,000 newtons, 700 newtons and 70 newtons. Now in this question we do not have any direct formula to solve it. We will have to use equation of motion in this. So these are the three equations of motion. So we need to identify which one will apply here. And this is the formula for finding out average force, which is mass into acceleration. We have mass already 70 kilograms. But the thing is, we don't know what will be the acceleration. So for finding out acceleration only, we will have to use equations of motion. So these are the three equations. V here is final velocity, U is initial velocity, A is acceleration and T is time interval. Right. So this is the first equation, V is equal to U plus AT. Another equation is S. S is displacement over here. S is equal to UT plus half AT square. And U is, as already said, is initial velocity and A is acceleration and T is time interval. The third formula is v square minus u square is equal to 2as. Now we need to think which one of them will apply over here. Now we will check for values given. Like, we know velocity is given, the final velocity. An object of mass hits a stationary airbag with a velocity of 25 meter per second. That means this is the initial velocity over there, because finally the object came to a stop or acquired the position of stop, like it became static. That means now static object doesn't have any velocity, so the final velocity will be 0 over here, because a static object doesn't have any velocity. So the initial velocity is 25 meter per second, final velocity is 0, time interval is given. So can we use this equation in which distance is given? No, because there is no mention of distance over here. Also, we won't be using this equation as well. So we will go for this equation. Now let me write down the values over here. Final velocity is 0 because the object came to the rest, and initial velocity will be 25 plus what's A? We need to find out A only, acceleration. And time interval given is 0.25 seconds. So now we will shift 25 will become A into 0.25. Right? So now final acceleration will be minus 25, 5.25. Now we will remove point from here and the final answer will be 100. So that means acceleration is 100 meter per second square. But the value is in minus. We have a minus over here. What does that mean? It means a negative sign in front of acceleration means the acceleration is decreasing. I mean it is not acceleration, it is deceleration. When an object acquires speed, like speed is consistently increasing, then we say it is acceleration. But when we want to, like we are driving a car and now we are about to reach our place. So now we will decrease the speed. So that means now it's not when we start from our house, that time speed is 0. But when we are on highway, the speed gradually increases. That means this time acceleration is going on. But when we are coming back to home from highway, then gradually the speed will decrease and come to a stop when the car is parked. So now it is not acceleration, it is opposite of acceleration, which is known as deceleration or retardation. So now since the object has come to the rest, so now this is deceleration. So it is minus 100 meter per second square. Minus sign over here only shows that acceleration, it is negative acceleration. Negative acceleration, deceleration and retardation, they all are same things. Now we have the value 100 meter per second square. Now we can easily find out the average force because we know mass, we know the acceleration from here. So mass is 70 kilograms. Acceleration is 100 meter per second square. We are not using 100 sign, it is only indicating that the speed is decreasing. So answer will be 7,000 newtons. The unit of force is Newton. So the answer will be B option. So that's how we can solve these kind of questions if we know all the formulas over here, and we need to think about it, that what could we apply over here, because here it was not a direct thing. We had to actually find out the acceleration before we could find out the force. In the same question paper, there was one question like this. The drag force on a particle moving at a speed of v in a medium is of the form F is equal to, this is drag coefficient into velocity, right? And the drag coefficient depends on the particle shape and size. Now this force is not in the air, it is in a medium, like in a liquid or something, and depends upon the shape and size and on the properties of the medium, right? If the length is measured in centimeters, mass in grams and time in seconds, then drag coefficient has units. These were the options: gram, B option gram, centimeter, second. C option was gram per second. D option was gram centimeter square per second. Now we simply need to find out the unit. So it was comparatively an easy problem. So we will write over here. Now we know that force is mass into acceleration, and we have unit of force. Mass is gram and acceleration is meter per second square. Right. So now we can easily find out units of drag coefficient. Let me write it over here. So it will be F by V. Now velocity also has a unit as mass per second. Now we will write it over here. So gram meter per second square by mass by second. Now we have a fraction in the denominator. If we want to bring it to the numerator, then what we do is we reciprocate the values, and here we put multiplication sign. So let me show you how do we do that. Gram meter per second square, these are the values of this, and this value must go to the numerator. So it will reciprocate like this. Seconds will come to numerator and to the denominator. Now we can easily solve it. So it will go. So that means answer is gram per second. So C is the right option. So sometimes they ask easy questions like this. If we have the basic idea of units of some common physical quantities like force, acceleration and velocity and displacement and all, then we can easily find out the value of the unit of any other coefficient or anything. So that's how we can solve it. So another question was, a model protein moves cargo in cells by taking forward steps along linear tracks called microtubules. Right? Assume each step has size 8 nanometers and consumes 30 kilojoule per mole of energy by burning ATP. If this energy is converted to work, what is the force exerted at each step? Now, in order to know force, we should know the formula, how force is related to energy. Right? So, let me write the formula over here. Energy is equal to work done. They both are the same thing. Is force into displacement. Or we can say F into D. So this is the formula. Now we are given energy. What is the value of energy over here? It is 30 kilojoule per mole. So we will write it over here. 30 kilojoule per mole. And force we need to find out. And what is the displacement over here? It is 8 nanometer. Now in order to find out force, we will do 30 kilojoule per mole by 8 nanometer. Now we will simply convert these values to the standard forms. So kilojoule will be 30 into 1000. Now it is in joules per mole. And 8 nanometer is 8 into 10 to the power of minus 9 meters. Right? So now this is a simple calculation. It will go in the numerator 30 by 8 into 10 to the power of 12 now. So we only need to calculate this. So 30, 24, 6.0, 56. So it is 3.75 newtons. Sorry. It will be 30 into 10 to the power of 12 newtons. And the options given were 3.75 into 10 to the power of 12 newtons and 6.25 10 to the power of 12 newton, 3.75, C option was 3.75 into 10 to the power of minus 12 newton, and D option was 6.25 into 10 to the power of minus 12 newtons. So these were the options given. So the option is A. So that was also a very easy problem. If we remember the formula and we know the logic, then we can solve these kind of questions within 2 or 3 minutes.